What's up YouTube, it's Talk with Twans here. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to give you a quick update on our 4Runner, on what we've done to it so far and also what we're going to do to it today. So as you can see from the front here, we've got a Little B's front bumper going on up here, and we have a Baja light bar in the front with some extra light pods here on the bumper as well. We've got some S2s and some squadrons down there, and you guys probably already know we put 35s on it with some VTX wheels. And for the suspension we went with Fox, and it's tuned by AccuTuned. Prinzu roof rack on the top with an iCamper. And in the back here, we got some black housing taillights that we put on a while ago, and recently added, and it looks badass, the Ultraswing here from RIGd. And it also, if you guys can see in the back here, it has a built-in cutting board in the back, which is going to be super awesome for camping. We can use that instead of the mountain hatch if we don't have the Tacoma with us. So recently we added some rear icon springs here. We wanted a little more rake for it, so we replaced the previous one and put on these icons. And that is it for so far. We do have some AB6 headlights that we're going to be putting on soon, but for today we're going to be installing some Factor55 goodies along with some D-ring shackles here. So we've got a Fairlead over here, we've got a Flatlink and a Hitchlink, and then 3 D-ring shackles in cement gray, and we're going to be putting all that on today. We just really wanted to get rid of that hook in the front, so we're going to do all of it at once. So let's start from the front. Alright, so first thing, we're going to start with the Fairlead. So this is a 1-inch Fairlead, and it is also in gray. And if you guys want any of these Factor55 goodies, we'll leave a link in the description below. So this is the original one that came with the winch, and we're going to be replacing it with this because it looks a lot better than having this on here. So another reason why we're going with the Factor55 Fairlead here is because Factor55 tests all their products. They do a stress test on all of them, so to make sure it's like strong enough, and the build quality is a lot better, and these are made in the USA. So if you're using a winch, you're probably going to be doing a lot of like stress, and you're gonna be putting a lot of stress on, you know, your winch and all these parts up here, so you want something to reinforce that. So Factor55 here will do just that. We got 2 holes right there ready, and that's where it's gonna mount before we put on the Flatlink. So we got 2 bolts, some washers, lock washers, and it's gonna go into those 2 slots there. Make sure you do this first before you put on a Flatlink or something, or else you're gonna have to take it off anyways. Okay. And then we'll grab an Allen wrench and tighten that down. Alright, so up next, after we put on the Fairlead, we've got a Flatlink here. And the difference between Factor55 and everybody else, the Flatlink here, they are famous for their closed winching system. So when you are winching out and you're using a hook, if that rotates at all and it goes into that opening, you're just going to lose your grip, and it's just going to fall apart. Where this is just a close in, there's no way for it to go into an opening or anything. So very safe, very secure, and they are famous for this, and it looks really good too. and it's gonna sit flat against the Fairlead here, so you don't have like a hook just sitting out like that. Alright guys, so to install this, it's pretty simple as well. You look here, you have one opening to the pin, the other side is closed. So you're going to use a snap ring plier here, and if you guys look in there, there's 2 holes. You're going to just get this in there, squeeze, pull out the ring, and that will give you access to the pin. And then we're just going to slot that through, put the pin back, and then we are going to slide that ring back in to that hole. So same thing, squeeze it, slide it in there, just like that. Just make sure it sits in its place before you finish up. Here you go. Alright, so the best thing about this Flatlink is it's going to sit flat against that Fairlead. Just like that. So if you're one of those guys that have that hook and you just have it hooking to one of these, that's cool if you like it. I personally think this is a much cleaner look to the front end. You don't have your wire just hanging out right here, and it just looks a lot more cleaner. Everything's flush against your bumper here. So super clean upgrade there. Alright, so since we're all done with the Flatlink and Fairlead there, we're going to install these 2 D-ring shackles as well on the front end here. So one of the cool things about these shackles specifically are these rubber washers here. And what that does is prevent paint to paint contact here. So you're not scraping off your paint on either your bumper or your shackle here. So we will make sure we slide those in between. Like that. Alright, so the very last thing here is the Hitch Link. This is the 2.0 version. And each one of these will come with a certificate of testing, and it shows you the load over here and the time over here. So it looks like the brake load on these is at 50,000 pounds roughly, and they're all signed, inspected. That's pretty cool. So here's the Hitch Link, tells you max load. This is the black one. Matches our Flatlink. So we're going to install the shackle onto the Hitch Link first before we bring it back over there. So it doesn't look like these rubber washers will fit in between here. So we're going to do it without it. And we are using these infinite rule pins here. What this does is it allows you to lock it with the key so that they can't steal any of your stuff here. So we will slide that pin through here, and then you've got a key on this side you can lock it in with. Okay, and then these do come with a rubber cap to protect the part where you put the key in, so that way it doesn't rust and stuff. And then now we're going to bring this back here. And install it into the actual hitch. So there's 2 holes on the Hitch Link, and you can use whichever one you like. We're going to go with the second slot there. And again, we're going to be using the infinite roll pin. Slide that in through here. Put the cap on. And there you go. So the reason why we have this here is we use the rear to do a lot of our recoveries, and we use soft shackles to just hook onto these, and it's just a lot easier that way. Alright guys, so that is it for today's install video. Quick and easy but super useful accessories, and again, these are all going to be in the description below. That is it for today's video. Peace.